YouTube? It's your boy Jay Huey, and welcome to my first video on my new tips and tricks series for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Today's video is going to be about giving you the best settings to help your game run smoother and at the same time improve your gameplay. These settings are run by a lot of the pros in the CDL, and everything you see in this video is something that I currently run. Alright, so if you're ready, we'll just hop straight into it. Alright, so let's just start with controller settings. Aim and input device. If you use mouse and key, play controller. Button layout, I play on tactical, and I play on tactical because it switches your melee and your slide button, and then that just makes it easier to slide cancel and dolphin dive around the map. The rest of this stuff you shouldn't touch. Bumper ping off, flip off, stick layout, I play on default. Controller vibration, I play on off. This zone inputs are going to change. Open this up, but this is going to change based off your controller. So I'm going to just explain mine, and then you should be able to apply this to your own controller. So your triggers, you want these both on 0, so that basically this gives you the fastest reaction time from when you hit the trigger to your person actually doing the action, whether they're shooting or whatever. Left stick min and max, I play with my min on 1, my max on 99. So your min is basically the least amount of pressure that you need to get any type of input out of your left stick. And your max is the opposite. It's kind of like the amount of pressure you need to get the max effect out of your left stick, right? So I play 1 in 99. Your right stick min is really important because this is what influences if you have stick drift. So you want to play with your right stick min as low as possible until you actually get stick drift. So 3 is where I feel comfortable at. Max 99. That's good for that. So my sensitivity, I play on 6.6, and most pros play from like 6.6 to 7.7. Feel free to go as high as possible until you feel comfortable, but I feel like 6.6 is a really good starting point and where most people play and where most pros play. Sensitivity multiplier, I put this on 1. If you're having trouble like hitting your shots, you can turn this down, and that can help you stay a little bit more accurate. But I would advise eventually, like if you're on a high sense, then maybe keeping it low. But if you're on like 6.6, 7.7, you want to have this at about 1 so you can still be snappy. Sensitivity multiplier, I don't touch none of that. I don't touch that. The tack stance, I don't touch that. This is really important. Aim response curve, you want to play on dynamic and make sure that's at 1. So dynamic just makes it feel more fluid when you're adjusting your aim. So that's like really important. Make sure that's on 1. Instant, I play with that off. Aim assist, make sure you have that on if you're playing on controller for sure. Aim assist, I play on default. Third person is ADS correction type assist. Play with this off. Motion sensor stuff, make sure that's just off. Yeah, just make sure all this is off. Automatic tack sprint. So if you're not playing competitive, automatic tack sprint is pretty much a must-have. It just makes everything more fluid, helps you slide cancel better, just makes movement better and easier. So auto tack sprint is on, auto move forward off. Single tap run, so you only have to tap your analog 1 time to actually get that run off. Rounded mantle off. So this is really important because you ever been playing and like you just mantle over a table or something and you didn't want to, it's because you probably have the setting on. So you want to make sure this is off. Automatic airborne mantle is on partial. So this means you will only mantle when you're like falling down from like a high place, and like the mantle could prevent you from basically dying. So you have that on partial. Off. Slide behavior, this is an important one because this makes the slide cancel feel like 2019, and this makes it a lot more fluid. So if you don't have that on, make sure that's on slide only. Free, plane only, sprint and door bash on. Ledge climb behavior, movement based. Slide cancel sprint, make sure that's off. Aim down sight behavior hold. Sprint. So this doesn't matter. Equipment behavior hold, ADS melee, medium, ADS plus down button is the attack stance activation. That doesn't matter. This also doesn't matter. Tap to interact. So I play on tap to interact, and that just that allows me to interact with things just by tapping. I like that. You can play on anything like tap to reload, whatever feels comfortable to you. I play with this because I play Warzone a lot, so that I just when I'm opening doors and stuff, it's just easier to tap square, and then I hold square to reload. I'm gonna play all these are Warzone settings, so like that stuff doesn't really matter. This doesn't matter. None of that matters either. Okay, on to the graphics settings. Display mode, full screen exclusive. That's important to get the best frames. Whatever monitor that you have, whatever GPU that you have, the highest refresh rate that your monitor allows. Make sure that's the top option. Display resolution, whatever that you play on. I play on 1440. Make sure that's on automatic. If you play on a monitor, make sure that's on 2.2. Brightness, I play with mine on 53. For this one, most people should be on plus boost. You can try on just whatever works better for you, but usually on plus boost. You can move custom, off, custom frame rate. Just put this on unlimited so you can get your max frame rate. Focus mode on 90 and make sure HDR is off. This is on, this kills your frames. Graphics preset. This will change when you change other things, so this doesn't really matter. Make sure that's on 100. Dynamic resolution, make sure this is off. That just can like really kill your frames and make your game look like crap. So make sure that's off. Upscaling, I recommend everyone put this on, and this just makes your game look really clear. I wouldn't recommend using these other things because they just add a bunch of latency and just make your game run slower. So I wouldn't run anything else but this. If you don't want to run this, I would run nothing at all. I would just run off. But I run mine on, and then I have my strength on 100. VRAM scale target, I put this on 90, and this just makes sure my GPU is like focusing its resources on the game. Variable rate shading, make sure this is on. This basically just like whatever's in your field of view is clear, and then whatever in your like peripherals is a little blurry, and it doesn't affect actual people. So it's really good. So it's just like green grass or a building might be a little blurry on the outside, but the people will be absolutely clear. And to be honest, I've never really had any problem with it, and it increases your frames a lot. So I recommend running that. The rest of these settings, like I said, are going to be based on like FPS and just to make your game run really smooth. So a lot of these things are on low, and I'm gonna just go through these like really fast so we can get to the rest of the video. So yeah, this one very low, low, off, low, very low. Bullet impacts on, off, low, off. Make sure that's off, low. Shadow quality, put this on ultra. High. Static objects, you can put this on static objects or you can put it off. Normal, low, near, max, low, high, and off. So on my field of view, I play on 106 for multiplayer, and for Warzone, I play 120. So it just depends on what you're playing. On multiplayer, you want to have a lower field of view, just so that way, when you're far away, like when you're shooting at people far away, that they actually appear bigger. So you want to play on a smaller FOV on multiplayer, and then your FOV on Warzone should be a little bit like bigger of a number just because the map is bigger, right? So you want to see what's around you a lot more. ADS field of view, I play on affected. I think it naturally comes on independent, but I would suggest playing on affected because like when you aim down your gun, it basically when you aim gun your when you play on affected and you aim gun your gun, aim down your gun, your FOV does not change. When you play on independent, your FOV changes and you're zoomed in. So it just creates a really weird effect. So play with this on affected, weapon field of view wide, 80, wide, road motion blur, and weapon motion blur. Make sure these are both off. That's very important, or your game will just look like crap. Field green on 0. First person camera movement. Make sure these both are on the least, which is 50. This doesn't matter. Inverted flashbang. If you have a problem with like how bright the flashbangs make your screen, you can put this on, but it does hurt your frame. So I play with it off. I'm used to it. So my audio. I play on home theater. Things are just a little bit more quiet on home theater, and this game can get really loud. So I play on that. Bigger output, stereo, whatever of course your headphones is for this one. Master value, I'm playing on 70. I put everything basically like really low for everything else. Effects volume, I play with this on 100 because this is the footsteps. So if you lower this at all, you're lowering footsteps. So I put this on 100, and if you lower your master volume, like that's the way I would go about it. Like I would just lower this down as much as I want to, but I wouldn't ever touch effects. Dialogue, you want to have that up a little bit just so you can hear your person speak, like grenade or a UAV being called or a streak being called. You want to have that up a little bit. My voice chat volume, my voice chat gets really loud, so I have that on too for some reason. Like 2 just sounds fine, but of course, like if they're low, put them up. Voice chat on. All this other stuff doesn't really matter. If you have it on all lobby, you'll actually hear like the other team and stuff. So I mean, you can change that to what you want to hear. So let's start with interface. First thing I want to go through in here is your colors. Most important thing in here is to have these 2 intensities on 100. Make sure it only affects your world so it doesn't affect your actual game screen. And just when you're actually playing, put this on filter 2. And then your colors, you can literally set this to whatever you want to. It tells you like exactly what it's going to be, like if it's you, if it's your team, if it's your enemy, whatever, right? And then these extra colors are for Warzone. Like I said, these 4 things right here are the most important thing. HUD bounds. This is really important, especially actually whenever. So HUD bounds is where your UAV, where certain things will pop up on your screen. So if you see how I'm moving it in and out, right? So if I move it in, my map will be closer into my screen. If I move it out, my map will be closer on the outside. And the same thing, you can move it down, the same way. So I recommend just moving it as close as possible to the middle of your screen, so that way you don't have to like stretch your eyes all across your monitor or your TV to actually see what's going on. Sometimes it can get in the way, so then move it out, of course, if it's in the way. But I recommend just moving it in as much as possible. Mini map. Make sure this is on square. Yeah, this looks way better. You can see more of the map as well. Make sure it's on rotation. Compass on. Crosshairs. You can play with this. However, I play with just the dot, and I have my crosshairs off, right? And then I have the larger dot. So all I have on my screen is just like a medium sized dot. But that is personal preference. Hit markers visuals on, full name, on, fade after 10 seconds. If you're playing on PC, I just have these 4 on. Just tells you basically essentials, what you need for your PC, like if it's overheating or something like that. tooltips. Leave that on. Menu props, automatic. Alright, so account, you just want to make sure your text chat is on. The gore effects, make sure this off because this actually lowers your FPS. And that is it.